Amit, I'm recording on this system so that you don't have to take the pains of sharing me the recording and me uploading on YouTube. I'll straight away after this session record this. Sorry, upload this on YouTube. Okay. So the recording has started. Good evening, everyone.
Not an issue.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Amit, Sanjana, Anand, Garima, Sanjay, Himanshu, Swarnim, Nandan, Anirban. I'm taking names because I want this to go on records that we had attended this session. I'll have food. And Meenal, of course. Okay. So, guys, uh, scanning the last three examinations papers, the first question I'll pick one is what are some of the common challenges faced by you as a facilitator, and how can these challenges can be overcome? Why is adult learning principles important for us in facilitation? So these are three questions all in one. I mean, first question, three parts. Your thoughts, please. What are some of the common challenges faced by you as a facilitator?
Maybe
आपसे
the
शुरू कर
audience
सकते हैं?
engagement,
Audience
type of
engagement.
audience.
Okay, that's one. Very nice. Anybody else? Amit?
नहीं भाई आज सुनूंगा बस.
समटाइम पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर पाते या उतना इन्वॉल्व नहीं होते और एकदम बोरिंग सी कहीं हो जाती.
Same
Okay.
challenge which you are facing right now.
See, it's the same thing which Meenal said, audience engagement. Anything apart from that you can think of?
See, content and learning objectives are one of the most critical thing to ensure the engagement of participants. If that kind of preparation and focused engagement is not being adhered in the session and session plan, the sequencing, the logical order, all these things are critical. So this is one of the major challenges we can face.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much for your inputs, guys. Out of our experience as facilitators, we can clearly list out various challenges as a facilitator we face in day-to-day life. And I'm sure while I will mention all these challenges, you would be able to relate it, because these are some of the challenges you as a trainer, face in your daily life, maybe once or twice, or maybe, more often. So the first one I'll pick from what Garima you mentioned, right? Engagement and participation.
Yes.
Correct. So the challenge is that, it's very difficult to keep the participants engaged and to ensure that, each participant is active. It is very difficult, especially when, you are dealing with diverse groups, diverse age groups, different gender, right? It becomes quite difficult. So the solution could be that we could use interactive activities, real world examples, technical tools like polls, quizzes. We all do that, right? And the best way is to encourage the group discussion and peer interaction to foster the engagement. I'm sure आपने ये किए होंगे, तरकीबें लड़ाई होंगी जहां आपको दिख रहा है कि ऑडियंस को एंगेज करना है, तो छोटा सा कहीं गेम खिला दिया, आइस ब्रेकर कर लिया, और by including games and activities, you can make the facilitation more interesting. Make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. Then the another challenge is how to manage different learning styles. क्योंकि सबका सीखने का तरीका अलग है. कोई कैनेस्थेटिक लर्निंग स्टाइल है, कोई विजुअल है, कोई ऑडिटरी है ना? We all have learned about this in the previous chapters. So participants could have varied learning styles and pace. Some are fast learners, some are slow learners. So it becomes very challenging for a facilitator to address everyone's needs. And I'm sure you all will resonate with this. So what's the solution? The solution is incorporate mixed of visual, auditory, kinesthetic activities. And some people like to read. Some people like to read. So you can provide materials in different formats, and you can also offer personalized support wherever possible. Got it?
About me, English है me and myself.
Okay. And how many of us has faced difficult participants? Just raise your hand. आपने अपने ट्रेनिंग में डिफिकल्ट पार्टिसिपेंट्स को फेस किया है? हिमांशु. Who are troublesome? Amit. Okay. Garima. We all have, right? Some people are like, sir, AC नहीं चल रहा है. Sir, भूख लग रही है. किस किस तरह से लोग आपको परेशान करते हैं?
सर ये सेशन का टाइम ड्यूरेशन बहुत लंबा है, 15-20 मिनट या 30 मिनट का होता तो बहुत अच्छा होता.
Correct. Sometimes your training has to start at 9:30, but participants coming at 10:30, 11 o'clock. And then their managers are adamant कि sir इसको आप please admit कर दो, अगली बार से time से आएगा. Happens. Then participants asking for to leave early. 4 बजे से ही sir बैच छोड़ दो ना. Happens or not?
Yes, always.
Always happens. So any other example or anecdote you would like to share?
Then they will give feedback also sir कि content पूरा complete नहीं हुआ है.
हाँ.
लास्ट बैच में ही आया एक लड़का मेरे पास औरंगाबाद से. बहुत
और
ट्रबलसम, पूरे बैच को उसने परेशान करके रखा.
जो कुछ ज्यादा ही एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं, मतलब सिंपलेस्ट ऑफ द सिंपलेस्ट लाइंस पे भी they'll have hundreds of questions coming in.
Correct.
Sanjana, if those questions are relevant, then also it's okay. But irrelevant questions पूछते हैं, मतलब कोई लेना देना नहीं है टॉपिक के साथ, दिमाग में कुछ और ही चल रहा है, अपनी दुनिया में कोई ख्याल बना के बैठे हैं, सडनली कुछ पूछेंगे, पूरा सेशन वो डीरेल करने की कोशिश कर देते हैं.
Okay.
किसी तरीके से डिस्ट्रैक्ट करो.
Correct.
तो
So,
अभी लास्ट बैच 15 दिन मुझे पता है मैंने कैसे निकाला है.
So guys, how do we manage these participants? कैसे आप मैनेज करते हैं? आनंद.
एक एनेक्डोट है. या आई जस्ट वांट टू से कि मैं एक्चुअली गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में ऑपरेट करता हूं, तो ट्रेनिंग जो होती हैं वो गवर्नमेंट के 50-60 और ये इन सर्विस ट्रेनिंग कहलाती है. तो मैं राजस्थान में सबसे पहले अपने करियर के शुरुआत में गया. द मोस्ट प्रॉब्लमेटिक थिंग इज दैट ये 35 साल 25 साल वाले लोग होते हैं जो अपने प्रोफेशन में होते हैं टीचर्स, और इनको हम जाते हैं ट्रेनिंग देने. तो ये अपने आप में ऑकवर्ड होता है, और वो लोग ये मान के चलते हैं कि ये तो सालों साल चल रहा, 25 साल से हम लोग ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं. ऐसे में लोगों को कंसेप्चुअल या जो भी हम ट्रेनिंग देते हैं उस पर लेके आना, दैट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, बिकॉज दे हैव देयर कॉन्फिडेंस ऑन देयर प्रैक्टिसेस.
करेक्ट.
हम तो 25 साल से कर रहे हैं, आप क्या समझाने आ रहे हैं हमको?
Yes,
so it's very difficult to manage.
Correct. So what do? You establish ground rules at the beginning. Sometimes we have to शुरुआत में लाइन खींचनी पड़ती है कि भैया सारे क्वेश्चंस लास्ट में पूछे जाएंगे, बीच बीच में क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछो अगर आपको लगता है कि डिफिकल्ट पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं. Sometimes you have to address the disruptive behavior very calmly, and sometimes आप उसको साइड में लेके जाते हो. चल बेटा तू आ जा ब्रेक में. हाँ भाई क्या दिक्कत है? So sometimes you have to address the disruptive behavior calmly and privately if necessary. And you have to engage the difficult participant by assigning them roles and responsibilities. कई बार आप उसी को सरदार बना देते हो कबीले का. So we have to do it, right? So the moment you make them a leader, जैसे होता है ना क्लास में सबसे बदमाश बच्चे को मॉनिटर बना दो. This is age old तरीका. So
उसने पहले क्लास में मुझे लीडर बनाया था क्या?
मैं ये पूछूं, हर क्लास में हमें इसीलिए कुछ ना कुछ पूछते रहते हो क्या? लगता है हम लोग सारे डिस्ट्रैक्टिव बच्चे हैं तुम्हारे.
So that was
अच्छा ये बताओ स्कूल में कौन कौन लीडर बना था फिर?
Right. So that was the third point, guys. Handling difficult participants. We all have faced, and many have tested our patience. Another challenge is, and just raise your hand if you agree with me. Time. Time becomes a challenge at times. Sometimes the content is less, and you have to extend the content. you have to fill in the time. तो क्या होता है, it becomes boring at times, and sometimes the content is so lengthy and you have to squeeze it in within the limited time. And this happens mostly when you're conducting a full day session, say around 5-6 hours का session है, workshop है, and all of a sudden managers you start getting requests from managers that sir 2 घंटे में छोड़ दो ना, लड़कों को फील्ड पे भेजना है, you know so 8 घंटे की ट्रेनिंग को आपको 2 घंटे में कैसे स्क्वीज इन करोगे? Yes or no? So sometimes managing time becomes a challenge. Balancing the agenda, ensuring all the topics are covered within the allocated time can be challenging. So what you need to do is you need to plan the session meticulously with a buffer time for discussions. Sometimes you need to use the time management tools and techniques to keep a track of the progress. Keep limited breaks, plan it well. But despite all this, it does become challenging at times. Any other technique you use to manage the time you can share?
हाँ, क्वेश्चन उसमें बिकॉज हमारे साथ होता है, बिकॉज व्हेन न्यू ब्रांड्स आर बीइंग लॉन्च्ड, आपको उसी ट्रेनिंग पीरियड के अंदर वो नया ब्रांड भी एडजस्ट करना है, और ऑलरेडी आपका जो सेशन है वो पूरा पैक्ड है, तो स्पेस नहीं है. तो फिर देन वी फोकस ऑन दोस थिंग्स लाइक मस्ट नो, शुड नो. सो जो मस्ट नो है वो हमें कवर करना ही करना. Should know, yes, if time permits you can share it, otherwise you can ignore it also. And there are some things which are not that much required by them, but it is in the agenda, so you can spend less time on that and you can focus more on the must know thing, without which they cannot do their job effectively. So that's how we do it. You are on mute, Kaushal.
Sorry. So that was time management as a challenge for a facilitator. Then sometimes we have faced technical issues as well. AC काम नहीं कर रहा है, लाइट नहीं जल रही है, प्रोजेक्टर लास्ट मोमेंट पे प्रोजेक्टर काम नहीं कर रहा है. और लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स इट हैपेंस, आपने लैपटॉप से कनेक्ट कर दिया प्रोजेक्टर, सब कुछ सही है, लेकिन स्क्रीन पे आ नहीं रहा है. एंड यू हैव आपने सारे पैंतरे अपना लिए, स्क्रीन पे प्रोजेक्ट क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? Has this happened with you?
Not with me, but my colleagues.
So
लास्ट डे में होता है.
technical challenges does occur. Technical glitches can interrupt the flow of a session, especially if you are doing a virtual session, and especially if it's a boring session. Technical challenge आएगा, not from your end, from the participant's end. So it does happen. Like the way we all go on off camera when the session is boring. So yes, technical challenges are there while you're training.
पांच लोग ना कैमरा
Do you
बंद
mean
नहीं
to
करेंगे.
say all the people who doesn't have their cam on think it is a boring session and hence the videos are off?
Well,
नहीं नहीं, अभी जितने कैमरे ऑन है वो बंद नहीं होने चाहिए.
देखो दो
Sanjana,
कैमरे
चालू हो गए कौशल.
Yeah. So Sanjana, that's the quality of an effective facilitator, that वो इशारों में अपनी बात भी रख देता है और लोगों को पता भी नहीं लगता. तो वो
हम
ज्ञान की
सबको
बात
पता लगा कौशल.
नहीं, that was a subtle way of asking people to switch on the camera, not being too direct. Anyways, so what we do is, I always do this, and tell me how you manage it. This is my way, that every time if I have to conduct a session, say physically, I reach half an hour early, at least half an hour early, to ensure that the location, everything, the materials, the technical tools, the seating arrangement, everything is in place. And also if I can have some breakfast before starting the program, if I'm doing the program in a hotel. तो आधा घंटा 1 घंटा पहले पहुंचो, तैयारी देख लो, and that's how you can overcome. Also, if I know that there would be a challenge related to Wi-Fi, I must have some backup plan. Like at times at my place, while conducting virtual sessions, the electricity goes off on and off again. So what I do is I keep my phone charged and handy, and always keep the hotspot on, so that the moment the Wi-Fi is disconnected, I can quickly switch to another hotspot. Make sense?
Yes.
Another challenge could be maintaining the moment of your training, keeping the energy level high throughout the session, especially during long sessions. आपको पूरा दिन का workshop करना है. Thankfully, post pandemic, I've seen that the workshop mode has reduced. Mostly the trainings are happening online, and the training duration has reduced drastically from workshop mode of 6 to 8 hours to couple of hours, or probably half an hour or 30 minutes. This has become less challenging though, but again, even in a virtual session like we are conducting now, energy level high रखना बहुत मुश्किल है. So what we do is we incorporate breaks, energizers, interactive elements, keep asking questions, cracking jokes, pulling legs, so that we maintain that momentum.
Yes. Especially in the post lunch session.
Correct.
लंच के बाद बहुत दिक्कत आता है.
Correct.
सबको नींद आती है.
Correct. And last but not the least, after the training for a facilitator, it is very difficult and challenging to ensure that whatever you have trained them on, whatever facilitation you've given them, it's difficult to ensure that participants apply what they have learned in their work or in their daily life. Correct?
Yes.
So the training के बाद का जो ये challenge है, ये भी एक बड़ा challenge है. So what you do is you use real life scenarios, involve a lot of role plays and practical exercises, and provide follow up materials and support to reinforce the learning. So मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, ट्रेनिंग किया बहुत बढ़िया, आपने ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम जो 1 घंटा 2 घंटा का किया बहुत बढ़िया, आपने बोला, आपने वीडियोस दिखा दिए, रोल प्ले करा दिए, सब कुछ है. But what next after the training? What did you do to reinforce the learning? Because if you are not doing it, you are killing it. आपने अपना सारा मेहनत पानी में फेर दिया अगर आपने उसको रीइंफोर्स करने का कोई टूल टेक्निक नहीं डिवाइस किया आफ्टर योर ट्रेनिंग. So always have some follow-up trainings, follow-up meetings, or something or the other, some learning materials, some learning videos which you can give them to go through later on. Otherwise, वो memory में diminish होने लगता है. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So this was the first part, and I'll quickly revise. क्या क्या challenges हमने discuss किया? एक तो engagement हमने discuss किया, different learning styles, handling difficult participants, time management, technical challenge, and maintaining the learning or the momentum of learning, and ensuring application of learning. Yep. Now, the second part asks, what is the importance of adult learning? Why is it important for us as a facilitator to know about adult learning? Your inputs, please.
Adults will learn if it is relevant to their job. They learn from the past experience. And if it is beneficial for them. And relevance ho gaya, beneficial ho gaya, past experience.
Nice, Michael. Go on.
There's one more.
Siddharth.
I think it is directional. They know what they want, rather than the other type of learning where it is not directional as such, where I want to go. So adult learning is specific. It addresses a specific need. That's what I understand.
Absolutely. See,
And when they know that you know more than them.
How can we apply instantly
interesting.
in practical
You
life?
can, correct. You can value add only if you can value add. If they feel that what you are telling them, they already know it, they might get switched off. So an adult needs to see the relevance of what they are learning. They are more engaged when they understand how the content applies to their work in their personal life. This is relevance, what Michael mentioned. Second is experience. They already bring a wealth of experience, just like what Siddharth mentioned, that, Garima mentioned, that if they know what you're telling them, it's of no good use, because they already bring a wealth of experience to learning process, which can be valuable resource for the group. But if you're not value adding, then it could be a challenge. Third is on autonomy. You can't just hold their fingers and take them to learn. They prefer to have control over their learning journey, and that's where you might have seen these video contents, learning management platforms, knowledge platforms are gaining a lot of popularity. A lot of organizations have implemented LMS tools in their organization because people like to learn at their own space, right? Their appetite of knowledge is different, and they appreciate the ability of self-directed learning. So that was another. What else? I will only learn from you if I know that whatever you are telling me, or whatever you are training me on, will be solving my problem. आज ये सेशन अपन कर रहे हैं इसलिए कि मैं एग्जाम में पास हो जाऊं, मेरा ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाए, and that's how I will learn. This is the fourth point called practicality. अगर practical है मेरे लिए तभी मैं सीखूंगा. So that is it. And readiness to learn. They're only ready to learn when they experience a need to know or do something. Till the time they don't feel that strong urge of doing it, they won't do it. Like till this time we were sitting at home and just worrying about the exams but not taking action. It's only when we realize that now it's the time, I'm ready now, then only I'll learn. If I'm not ready, I will not learn. I have to prepare my mind, I have to come into that zone, then only I'll be able to do it. Simple. So what are the different ways you can overcome this, or probably what should be your strategy while facilitating? So relevance के लिए आपको जो content है अपना, उसको ऐसे बनाना है that it should directly relate to the participant. उनका जो experience है, उनके जो goals है, उसको relate करें. Case study use करो, example use करो from their industry, right? And if they are bringing experience, encourage them. Like abhi somebody mentioned, Anand was mentioning, there are a lot of government employees, they bring a lot of experience, 25 saal ho gaya. Use their knowledge, use their experience in facilitation, and you'll see they'll be happily sharing their experiences, and from their experiences you can draw the learning. You really would not need the content anymore. Content रख दो side में, उनके experience से ही आप बहुत कुछ निकाल लोगे, right?
Right, sir.
Yes, Kaushal.
True.
Definitely.
And you need to offer them choices in learning activities. आपको कैसे पढ़ना है, आपको माइक्रो वीडियोस चाहिए, आपको पीडीएफ चाहिए, आपको बुक रेफर करना है, आपको केस स्टडी चाहिए. You need to have all different types, variety in your training, so that you are able to facilitate autonomy, self-assessment, self-paced learning, self-directed learning. Focus on practical aspects which they can apply in in real life, especially trainings like sales trainings, customer service trainings. Practically जो आप सिखा रहे हो वो implement करना possible है नहीं है, make them realize that, and then only they. So that's why adult learning principles, it's very important for us as facilitators to know about these principles, and it's very important for facilitation.
I just want to add one thing, Kaushal, if you allow. Yeah, that is very relevant, that what you said, the need and the urge and the kind of relevance and problem solving, all these components needed to be there. Going further, I think making the needs feel. So there is a need, but participants may not realizing or acknowledging the needs because उनका काम चल रहा है.
Right.
So some sort of system or mechanism need to be there to make them realize that they need to learn, they need to improve, that kind of thing. So nobody can teach or make people learn until unless the learner is active.
Absolutely.
And this thing. So it happens in government sector, क्योंकि काम तो चलता ही है ना, वहां तो कोई कुछ कर नहीं रहा, तो ये private sector में भी होता होगा.
And the catch is, Anand, that we all would agree with this, that I don't know something, but I would not accept it publicly. I don't want anybody else to tell me that I don't know something. But silently, if I get the source of that knowledge, which I don't know, and I realize that I need to know, I'll silently watch certain videos, I'll silently refer to books, and I'll study to gain that knowledge. But I need to have that source. It's like you realizing that you are not good at Excel, and quietly sparing some time out of your work schedule to learn that skill, because that it is important for you, and without that you cannot survive. But if somebody comes and tells you, you need to learn Excel, bro, you don't know Excel that much, you need to practice Excel, and you're like, अरे नहीं मुझे तो आता है, अरे अपने को सब आता है. We don't we don't publicly accept that, right? So that's where this autonomy and self-paced learning comes into picture, wherein you need to equip your participants with so much of content कि आपको उसको बोलना ना पड़े, उसके पास मौजूद है, जब चाहे जब मर्जी वो देख सके उसको. Okay, so why is it important for a facilitator? There are a lot of benefits. The first benefit is it enhances engagement. Knowing how adult learning is crucial, it helps you to design sessions which are more engaging and effective. You can help improve the retention. You can promote self-directed learning. You can build on their experience, and you can address their diverse needs. Only if you are aware of these adult learning principles. Right? That's all. So that was the first question we discussed. Now, another important question which has come up quite often in the exams, and you may expect it this year also, is what is the difference between facilitation and training? Quite a lot of time it has been asked. कई बार पूछा गया है.
Facilitation is helping out.
Yeah.
Facilitation is helping or guiding someone, helping to understand and learn. And training is about, it is it's important to give the outcomes. Learning outcomes should achieve. So this is measurable. Training.
Thank you, Garima. Michael, you want to say something? Or is it the hand is raised from last time?
Michael हरदम तैयार है आंसर करने.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sorry, I missed.
What is the
Network.
difference between facilitation and training? A very simple and basic answer I'm looking at.
Facilitation means mainly that you are going to be part of the programs that are going to be done or the sessions that are going to be done. Also, there will be multiple other speakers who will be part of the training session or the 2 days program or 3 days program. Helping other trainers also to be part of your program is called as facilitation.
Very nice.
Facilitation means
Welcome,
helping
Jigar.
the learner learn.
Yes, Sanjay.
Yeah, facilitation means helping others learn. They have to learn on their own, and we don't have to spoon feed them.
And what is training then? In
Yeah,
training also you're helping others learn.
Yeah, we are helping them learn, and we are. Training is trainer centered, and facilitation is learner centered.
Facilitation is creating a platform for
Okay.
learning.
Sanjay made a very valid point, and
May I just add?
I'm sure you've heard this. He said training is trainer centered and facilitation is learner centered. Very nice. Yes, Siddharth. And then I'll come to Sandeep and Himanshu as well.
May I add? To understand
Okay,
that
Siddharth.
yeah, so facilitation is like creating a platform for the learner to learn. That's like I'm creating a platform wherein the learner can conveniently understand and know the optics and learn. And trainer is like training is merely telling them what has to be done on the field.
Makes sense. Yes, Himanshu.
Himanshu.
As a facilitator, we have his main work is to make the progress and people success. Simple language में बोला जाए तो, and as a trainer, training outcome.
Right. Okay. Sandeep.
Okay.
So, Kaushal, what I feel that maybe a training covers a topic which the learners are not quite aware of. Maybe it's a new topic for them. And in facilitation, the learners may have some idea, and the facilitator, he helps them to increase the retention of that knowledge in a better way.
Okay.
Right now, what is happening is
Kaushal, may I add?
facilitation. अभी जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं वो facilitation है.
One sec, Jigar. Yes, Michael.
The basic difference is that training is imparting knowledge, and facilitation is actually guiding a group towards expected outcome.
Okay. So what we mean to say is that there is no difference between teaching and training, because teaching is also imparting knowledge.
Guiding is not imparting knowledge. We don't impart knowledge during facilitation. We only guide them towards an expected outcome.
Agree. But what I'm asking is, if I'm imparting knowledge, that is training, what is teaching then?
Yeah.
Teaching is just
no.
Because for me, teaching is also imparting knowledge.
Teaching is about theoretical knowledge.
Yeah, teaching is also imparting knowledge, because your question was training versus facilitation. I gave you the my understanding for training versus facilitation.
Okay. So यहाँ फंस गए.
I may be wrong.
नहीं,
So
correct है.
training and teaching is also on the same lines. However, teaching में जो audience participation रहते हैं उसको knowledge बहुत ही कम रहता है. Training में थोड़ा बहुत knowledge रहता है and we add on to that knowledge.
Oh, okay. So in teaching, you are imparting the knowledge and helping the participant learn about the subject. However, training is how to apply that knowledge is training. And there is a huge difference between teaching and training. And then facilitating is completely a different ball game altogether, wherein you are not telling them and showing them, or probably telling them how to apply that knowledge, but you are helping them discover the knowledge within themselves through experiences, through observations, through role plays. You're just acting as a moderator.
Medium, yes.
Whatever work, the major work, 80% task is done by them. You are doing 20% task by just directing them. That is facilitation. However, in training, most of the talking is done by you. You're just doing 20% engagement, or probably 50-50 or 60-40, whatever. But There are a lot of input goes from your end. That's the difference. Anyways, so what we'll do is thank you everyone for your inputs, and I'm sorry if you have more points, but I'll stop here and I'll complete my part. We'll touch upon various aspects of facilitation and training and then see what is the difference. First aspect, as a trainer or facilitator, your role. Okay, you as a leader or trainer or facilitator, whatever you can say, what is your role? Your role as a facilitator is to guide, enable the process. You focus on helping them achieve their goals. However, if you are a trainer, you are an expert who's imparting knowledge or the skills on how to apply that knowledge, and you're focusing on uh, applying part of it. Second, goal. Goal is different in facilitation and training, both. In facilitation, your goal is helping the participant achieve a common objective to solve their problems by themselves or make a decision. You're just enabling them to make their own decisions. That's it. You are not making decisions on their behalf. Agree with it? However, in training, you're educating a participant on a specific topic or a skill set, that ये skill ऐसा है. In facilitation,
So do you mean to say, Kaushal, that in facilitation, you're not imparting something new? It is something that is existing, and you're trying to build the capacity of a learner. Whereas in training, it's a new knowledge that you're building up. Am I right?
Right. So what happens is, so for example, if you're training somebody on problem solving skills, just take an example, you are telling them techniques to solve the problem, maybe fishbone technique, maybe six thinking hats, this and that. You're training them on a skill. However, if you're acting as a facilitator, you've given them the tool already, and now you've given them certain scenarios, or you're creating certain situation wherein they themselves are using those tools and solving the problem themselves there and then in the training itself. You've given them a case study. You've already trained them on tool. Now the time is to use that tool to make a decision. That's facilitation.
Got it.
Over there, you have taught them ये टूल यूज करना है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग के लिए. यहां पे आप उनको बोल रहे हो ये टूल है, ये प्रॉब्लम है, चलो सॉल्व करो. Got it? Guys, everybody on the same page?
Yes.
And somebody very rightly mentioned, maybe Sanjay mentioned, कि आपका अप्रोच फैसिलिटेशन में पार्टिसिपेंट सेंटर्ड होता है, कोलैबोरेटिव होता है और प्रोसेस ओरिएंटेड होता है, जबकि ट्रेनिंग में आपका जो अप्रोच होता है वो कंटेंट सेंटर्ड होता है. आप कंटेंट पे फोकस करते हो. आपका जो स्टाइल होता है वो इंस्ट्रक्शनल और डायरेक्टिव होता है, और फैसिलिटेशन में वही पार्टिसिपेटिव. आपका कंटेंट फैसिलिटेशन में जो कंटेंट है वो पार्टिसिपेंट से ही आता है. It emerges from participant, from their experiences, from their real life scenarios. And you only facilitate, help the group discussion. However, in training, आपका जो कंटेंट है वो प्री डिटरमिन्ड होता है. आप उसको बना के जाते हो, एक पीपीटी तैयार करा होता है आपने. आप पहले से डिसाइड करते हो कि ये गेम खिलाऊंगा, ये पीपीटी दिखाऊंगा, ये वीडियो चलाऊंगा, ये स्टोरी शेयर करूंगा. ये सब कुछ आपके पास पहले से प्रिपेयर्ड होता है. बट एक फैसिलिटेटर जो होता है वो ज्यादा ऑन द स्पॉट थिंकिंग करता है, ऑन द स्पॉट वहीं पे फैसिलिटेट करता है, वो सिनेरियोज वहीं पे बनाता है. ये मेजर डिफरेंस है कंटेंट से रिलेटेड. एंड देयर आर फ्यू अदर थिंग्स कि आपका जो इंटरैक्शन होता है वो फैसिलिटेशन के टाइम ज्यादा होता है. आप यू encourage group interaction, collective problem solving more in facilitation. However, in your training, your interaction is more of instructional, while you're delivering the content, and participants are more on receiving end. ये एक डिफरेंस है. ट्रेनिंग में आपका जो आउटकम है वो आउटकम है सिंपल, मुझे एक स्पेसिफिक स्किल सीखना है, लर्निंग अ स्पेसिफिक नॉलेज, स्किल और एनी कॉम्पिटेंसी. However, in facilitation, the focus is more on the outcome is on achieving consensus, making action plans कि अब हम ये करेंगे, कल से जब हम फील्ड पे जाएंगे तो ये करेंगे. They themselves will make that plan. They themselves will chalk out the solutions. So the outcome is improved understanding and practical understanding. आपका मेथड ट्रेनिंग में हो सकता है लेक्चर, डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन, assessments, video, stories, examples, whatever. But in facilitation, you use more of group discussions, workshops, case studies, things like that. Training is less flexible, I would say, as compared to facilitation. Facilitation is very flexible. It's highly flexible. You can adapt to the needs and dynamics of the group easily. And trust me, as a trainer, आपकी जिंदगी बहुत आसान होगी अगर आप फैसिलिटेशन स्टाइल ज्यादा यूज करेंगे, बिकॉज आपकी मेहनत कम हो रही है, कम लग रही है इसमें, और इम्पैक्ट भी ज्यादा आ रहा है.
बट ऑडियंस सेम नहीं हो सकता ना कौशल, जिसको आप ट्रेन करोगे और जिसको आप फैसिलिटेट करोगे, टॉपिक एंड दिस कैन बी सेपरेट. जिसको आप टॉपिक पे ट्रेन करना है वहां पे आप फैसिलिटेट शायद नहीं कर पाओ.
बिल्कुल. सो थैंक यू जिगर फॉर एडिंग दैट. एक्चुअली हम उसी पे आने वाले थे अभी, बट क्वेश्चन अब ये है, इसके बाद अब हम डिफरेंस तो समझ गए और हमें क्लियरली दिख रहा है फैसिलिटेशन ज्यादा मजेदार है. बट देन क्या मैं हमेशा फैसिलिटेशन कर सकता हूँ, हर जगह यूज कर सकता हूँ? नहीं. देयर आर सर्टेन एरियाज जहां पे ट्रेनिंग ही काम आएगा. देयर आर सर्टेन टॉपिक्स, देयर आर सर्टेन ऑडियंस वेर इन फैसिलिटेशन काम आएगा. तो ये सिर्फ चॉइस की बात है, मतलब सिचुएशन की बात है कि आपके पास दो तरीके हैं, कौन से सिचुएशन में कौन सा तरीका यूज करना मैक्सिमम आपको इंपैक्ट देगा, ये आपको डिसाइड करना है. नाउ इट्स क्लियर?
I have a viewpoint question.
Yes.
I don't know whether I got little bit not confused, but I have a different viewpoint. From the constructivist theory, what we have learned earlier also in last semester. In cognitive domain, we were talking about constructivist theories. That learner is an active agent. Learner construct their knowledge themselves. From this very theory, now the facilitation things is coming up, and we are going away with.
No.
Sorry,
I'm interrupting. Okay, continue.
So for all the training or all the content to impart, we can use facilitation to make learners construct their knowledge or skills or whatever, the realization that yes, they can do it, they understand it, they know it.
Okay, if you see it in a broader perspective, Anand, the same thing is happening in training also. They are building their own knowledge, constructing their own knowledge and training also related to a skill. And that's why you'll see everybody's skill level is different in the same training program. Yes or no?
Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true.
So
all trainings can be done through facilitation. The more facilitation there will be, the more effective it will. Like जहां भी ट्रेनिंग है, जहां भी टीचिंग है, अगर उसको फैसिलिटेशन से उसको मोल्ड किया जाए, उस जर्नी में फैसिलिटेशन स्किल्स को ज्यादा यूज किया जाए, उसके प्रिंसिपल्स को, then training will be effective. This is a complementary, like training, the traditional path से थोड़ा अलग हटके.
That I am saying.
Okay, so I'll clear this out with an example here. Imagine you are training people on some tool, some software tool to use it to make them more productive. बेटा बस इसके बाद आप फैसिलिटेशन करोगे या ट्रेनिंग करोगे? डेफिनेटली आप ट्रेनिंग करोगे बिकॉज वो कुछ नई चीज है जिसके ऊपर उनको नहीं पता है, राइट? यू आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड अ स्किल. हाउएवर, इन केस if you are conducting a program on how to resolve customer issues, would you use training style or facilitating style? You'll use facilitating style because you are helping people learn, discover themselves the solutions. So there are two different kind of trainings, two different kind of audiences wherein you'll use two different types of training technique, facilitation or training. Choose wisely. So if I have to summarize, guys, facilitation is about guiding a group or a set of people to achieve a shared objective wherein they learn collaboratively, and it's more about managing the dynamics and helping the group harness their collective knowledge. एक दूसरे के knowledge से कैसे सीख सकते हैं. However, training is about imparting specific knowledge or skill to the participants and help them apply that knowledge in their day-to-day life. It's more about the your expertise, wherein you are imparting training in a structured way with a structured content जो पहले से मौजूद है. फैसिलिटेशन में हो सकता है आपके पास कंटेंट भी ना हो. So both of them are valuable and they both serve different purposes. They both require different skill sets, guys, and it totally depends on the person who's leading the session. ठीक है. कई बार विद एक्सपीरियंस एक ट्रेनर का नेचुरल स्टाइल ही फैसिलिटेशन बन जाता है, कोई भी ट्रेनिंग वो कर रहा हो. ये भी हो सकता है. ठीक है. That's all. So we discussed two questions today, and both questions were very important. They've been asked in many semesters, sorry, many times in different ways. Okay, so we'll close it here. Thank you very much. Last 10 minutes, your inputs, questions are welcome, and thank you for gathering in a large number. And I can see Keti, Purva, Utsav, lot of other people, Preeti joining a little later, but good to see a lot of people.
Hi guys. I also missed out on most of the session. मैंने भी अभी join किया 10 मिनट
Never mind, we have recorded this for you and we'll refer it on YouTube.
Thank you so much. Just help me out with which year's paper we are looking at.
So I refer to 2000. So this is 2024. I'm referring to 2023 and 2022 paper.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. This was very important question, which is asked many times. Difference between facilitation and training. So yeah.
And इसके पहले वाला question कौन सा था?
It was you as a facilitator, what are the challenges you face in training and how do you overcome them? What are adult learning principles and why is it important for you as a facilitator to know? Okay, that's all.